Paul Shekelle had a big concern after deciding to plant a vegetable garden in the front yard of his Los Angeles home.
I was a little bit worried that the neighbors were going to think I was crazy, because you're talking about a block of front yards of grass, and now your front yard is going to have boxes with corn and tomatoes in it. But you know what? It has been a totally positive experience.
So positive, in fact, that in 2012 the website urbanfig.com took notice.
And the next thing I know, I'm Urban Farmer of the Week. So that's one of my claims to fame.
But it's not Dr. Shekelle's green thumb that has earned him a Distinguished Alumni Award. He is internationally recognized for his work synthesizing original and existing data surrounding quality of care issues to improve the quality, cost-effectiveness, and access to care. His groundbreaking, rigorous analysis has inspired national health policy changes based on evidence rather than opinion.
He was really one of the kind of foundational leaders in moving guidelines into sort of that paradigm. I mean, it's not exactly like discovering an enzyme, right? I mean, it's sort of more a blend of how you take existing data, reanalyze it in a way that sheds new light on some clinical parameter.
Take prostate cancer screening, for instance, which had moved to widespread adoption of blood tests over a traditional physical exam, until Dr. Shekelle chaired a clinical practice guideline group that concluded that blood tests weren't necessarily better.
A lot of cancers that this was identifying actually were never really going to do much in terms of impacting somebody's life, and that the treatments for these, they involve surgery in an area that can affect a lot of important bodily functions. Some prostate cancers are probably not destined to do much more than smolder for a very prolonged period of time, in which case finding them and treating them may not be doing them any benefit.
Dr. Shekelle came to medical school at Duke thinking he wanted to be a cardiologist and was taken under the wing of Duke's legendary cardiothoracic surgeon David Sabiston.
He was a guy who took a lot of personal interest in the students. He learned the names of everybody. He would greet you by name. He would ask you to come into his office. And he invited me out to his house to have mint juleps with him.
While Dr. Shekelle didn't follow in Dr. Sabiston's career footsteps, he says his Duke medical education ignited in him a passion for discovery.
The idea that you would be constantly trying to move the bar forward in terms of what our knowledge was, in terms about how to best do these things, was something I really got from going to Duke. You felt like you were in a discovery enterprise.
He took that passion to UCLA for internship, residency, and fellowship training, where he realized he didn't want to focus on a specific medical discipline. A friend was working in health services research, and that piqued Dr. Shekelle's interest.
And it was like a little light clicking on saying, that is the description of the kinds of things that I find myself interested in. How do we organize and pay for care in order to best improve the delivery of that care? Having a bunch of data and then trying to figure out what it says or what it doesn't say is something that, I can do, and I can do pretty well.
He then earned a PhD in health services research from UCLA's School of Public Health. Since 1990, Dr. Shekelle has been at the West Los Angeles VA Medical Center, where today he is section chief for general internal medicine. He's been a professor at UCLA since 1992, and since 2006, he's been at RAND as director of the Evidence-Based Practice Center.
He is now kind of, one of the elder statesmen in, health service research there.
In 2011, the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs presented him with the Undersecretary's Award for Outstanding Achievement in Health Services Research, one of the VA's highest honors. Dr. Shekelle and his wife Elsa have 2 daughters and a son. While living in star-studded Los Angeles can be fun, it's the quieter offerings outside of LA that they find the most attractive. The family loves backpacking, hiking, and doing just about anything else in the outdoors. Before having children, he and his wife trekked for a month in Nepal.
The really transformative part about it was the people. These are the happiest, most considerate, most hardworking people that I've ever met.
And then there's his passion for Duke basketball.
But of course, I've always followed him, so much so that my kids, they made this little Father's Day plate for me that says that what do I do on midday of a Saturday? I have I have chips, I have a soda, I have a sandwich, and then I watch Duke basketball.
And despite his affiliation with UCLA since 1982, Dr. Shekelle said there is no question who he roots for when the Blue Devils face the Bruins.
That's easy, Duke.